My friends, I hope some of you will find this talk inspiring. Some of you might find it depressive, but nonetheless, we're having lunch, and I heard that lunch is the best way to deal with depression, so everything is okay. And the first question that I would like to ask you is, how do we live now? And who thinks in here that they live a perfect life? Shout, I. Okay. And who thinks that your life could be better? Shout, I again. Okay, I see that there's more people looking for improvement of their life. That's wonderful. But in the perspective that I look, it changed a lot from our parents, from the previous generations that we lived in. The technological development actually changed everything. The ways that we looked at things, the ways that we thought about things, it changed massively. The information that we got and we can able to get is enormously big. And what does that lead? In my opinion, it leads to a loss. That we challenge everything that we see. We challenge our values, we challenge our beliefs, and at this point, I think here in Lithuania, we are very in a deep loss. And I would call it a crisis. And I would like to bring you some of the facts. Why do I believe that we're in a deep crisis, a deep social crisis? Probably some of the facts you already know. And I hope that this information that I will spread to you will inspire you to take action. Because if we don't take action now, we will definitely be soon gone. And by this I mean that, to be honest, it's very interesting, because I think that if we don't take action now in the ways that we are looking forward of seeing things, then we will simply be even more frustrated to hang on to things that are actually destroying us. So let's move to some of the crisis factors. Okay, we skip this. And this. And the gods of technology don't like me. Okay, we're in a crisis. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. So the first factor that I would like to raise to you is the consumption of alcohol. I won't go into details what affects us, but in the approximately one Lithuanian above 15 years old drinks 50 liters of pure alcohol per year. What does that mean? That means every single one of us every day takes 5 glasses of vodka shots for a whole year. And you can imagine the impact that it makes to the society. The second factor that I would like to raise is, of course, about relationships that we got. I'm sorry to break it to you, but more than half of us will fail to have a marriage. Because in Lithuania, we got the highest divorce rate in Europe. It's 60%. The third factor is, of course, I would like to bring to schools. But most importantly, is how we look at others. Do we respect them? Do we see other people equal or not? If we look to schools, to the pupils, that actually is the new generation that we hope to solve the problems, the crisis that we have in here, they are looking forward to find themselves. But 2 out of 3 pupils are getting involved in snares. You can imagine, for example, if I insult any one of you, any single one of you, the impact won't be only for me and for that person. Every single one of you will feel it. You feel the example. You feel of how to see your value in the society as disrespecting others. And the third and the fourth factor that I would like to raise is, of course, suicides. This is an enormously big number of people that decides to leave. I could ask you, every single one of you now, leave this building, and even 3 or even 4 sizes of this place simply to leave this place. Because that's the amount of people that decides to leave this wonderful thing we call life. And in my opinion, why do people decide to leave? Because they see no hope, no way to enjoy the things that we enjoy. And I would like to invite you to imagine one boy. Let's say it's a 15-year-old boy. He goes to school. He wants to find himself. He wants to see what he can be capable of doing to the community, what he's capable of doing. And what he sees this disrespect of others. Maybe he's the one disrespecting others. Maybe others are disrespecting him. And maybe just others are disrespecting others. Then he comes back home and he thinks, okay, I want to talk about my closest community that is possible. That's, of course, families. And probably his parents are divorced. And then when he looks around, where can he hang on to? Then he sees the massive consumption of alcohol and the way to solve the problems as suicide. So do you still think that the next generation will be able to solve the problems that we are facing now? I doubt about it, unless we start to build human relationships. And the question, whom can we hang on to, I truly believe that the human relationships, the connections that we have, is the key to make our lives happier. Probably most of you watched the TED Talk about Harvard study of adult development, that this study took for 75 years about how the adults are developing, and they found very interesting factors. That the core factor in a healthier, more economically based life is equal to the relationships that the person makes to others. That means how good is the relationship in the family, how good and open and honest the relationship with the friends, and what's the quality of relationships in their walks. So I truly believe that this is the core thing that we, every single one of us, because I see very bright, very beautiful people that has talent. Most of you probably have time that could actually engage more in building human relationships. And I as well look further in investing my talent, my time, and of course my money. And the way I'm doing this is by inviting my 2 best friends, the brothers. I would like to briefly introduce every single one of them. Well, there are only 2, so won't take that much time. So the first one is the smart guy, is the technology. Sometimes it fails, we all know that, and we saw it previously. But as I look at technology, it's very rational. It loves to solve problems. It opens us new opportunities, but most of all, it expands our limits. It expands our capabilities of doing things. The second guy is the beautiful one. You know that the second-borns are more beautiful, so the second one is, of course, the arts. It connects the dots. It's very honest about things. It engages us. It makes us feel more. It inspires us. Most of all, it challenges us, but then guides us. Tim Mitchell once said that arts are awesome. It helps us find meaning when there is none. And let me assure you, there is none. So But I don't believe that only technology, only the arts is the core way that could be solved in our crisis that we are living on. I think that we need to help them work together. And why do I think by that? Herbert Simon once said that there are no morals about technology at all. Technology expands our ways of thinking about things, expands our ways of doing things. If we're bad people, we use technology for bad purposes. If we're good people, we use it for good purposes. And I think that if we invite art as the content of technology, then we can actually be good people and connecting between each other. In the previous video that broken out, you saw that the pirate ship of the machine, of the medicine machine, and the impact that it makes. The technology was built actually to help children, to help them scan, to actually cure them, but they are frightened about it. Art makes us connect with it, so actually the impact would be used for good purposes. And I would like to show you a small video about what happens when technology meets arts. Hopefully the technology gods are on my side this time. So could you imagine if these kind of connections, partnerships would work on the side, on beyond to solve the crisis that we are in order to connect us? This video this project was built for inviting Chinese people to understand their history from the very beginning and to the previous time, to now. And you already saw probably the impact, how the humans connect with the art itself, how it expands our ways to transform to other places. And at the end of my talk, I would like to invite you all to bring art to your technology, to build human relationships. And by art, I mean be honest. Be honest about things. Inspire others. If in need of help, guide them. And use technology to expand your limits, because I truly believe that you can. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. So, how do you feel?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. We can
Wonderful.
now chill out. Everything worked. Everything, yeah. So
yeah.
we now met your two friends. I totally forgot what I wanted to ask. Absolutely, I forgot. But
I forgive you.
I wanted to say, like, you know, for a person who's talking about crisis and alcoholism and suicide, you seem to be very cheerful, I must say.
I'm very happy about it. Sadly not.
Yeah. But what can we do, like, as of today, as a group of people, as a group of individuals, you know, starting of today, what can we do to help to solve these crises?
I think that the first movement that should be made is actually connect with other people. try just to talk about the fears that you have with others. You will feel the connections with different people, and you see I think the strength that could be brought in the community itself. Bring small communities together. Just like this TED Talk is, of course, it's an amazing event because it brings communities together. And I would actually recommend try to make your marriage happen, because I think that this is the core thing to a nation to survive, because these are the basis communities that we are focusing on.
Amazing. Let's make communities, let's make families, and let's make this country prosper. Thank you.
Thank you very much.